let me take you somewhere, and there's something new. Why English is spoken so good. It's Diction Avenue, Diction Avenue. This is a word where English language is taught, the official language that everyone needs to learn. Set it right pronunciation and use the right intonation. So express yourself. It's Diction Avenue, Diction Avenue.
Okay, welcome to the world with vision. They say a nation get perished without the vision. In Diction Avenue, we got a mission, vision to build tomorrow's future. Speak with good English is our culture. We got qualified teachers, good facilities to build confidence in our students.
You are welcome to today's edition of Diction Avenue. And this is the show where you learn how to speak right, and sound English. My name is Abigail Anaba, and as usual, I am your host for today. Last week, Chris was here taking over the mantle, and he did talk about how you can improve in your speech, some of the things that you could start doing this year to make you a better speaker of the English language. Well, today I am here to take over the baton from him, and we will be discussing, building on that conversation and giving you something to, in a matter of speaking, chew on. And so what are we going to be discussing today? We are going to be talking about word usage. And guess what? I am going to be discussing with you 7 different words that you can use, words or phrases that you can use instead of saying I'm busy. You know, sometimes when we speak, we really don't want to use the same words over and over again. We want to use a variety so that we do not sound monotonous. Well, in a bid to do that, we need to learn new words and phrases. And so today I'm going to teach you 7 words or phrases that you could use instead of saying I am busy. Also on the show, we will be taking Ask Anything English later on in the show, and the usual stories that teach. You'll be learning something from the story today. So let's dive straight into the show today and start as we usually do by asking our question of the day. Remember that when you get the question of the day, all you have to do is pick up your phone and send in the correct answer with your name and where you're texting us from, so that at the end of the show, we can give out the correct answer and then you would know whether you were correct or not. So what is our question of the day, you might ask? Well, our question of the day has to do with our topic of today. And like I said, we are going to be talking about 7 ways of saying I'm busy. So what is our question of the day? It's going to be up in just a bit. Our question of the day is, which of these phrases means I'm busy? Which of these phrases mean I'm busy? And we have 3 phrases there that you can choose from. A, I'm snowed under. B, I am pooped. And C, I am drained. Which of those 3 phrases do you think means I'm busy? Well, this is the time where you send in your answer, and you may send in your answer to the number 0805-584-9525. Again, the number to text. And remember, it is a number to text, not a number to call. It's a number to text. So send your text message or WhatsApp message to the number 0805-584-9525. I'm sure that the number will be up in your screen so that you can just get a hang of it. But the number is 0805-584-9525. Do not forget to include your name and where you're texting us from. And so with that, we are going to move straight on to the show for today. And as I said, we're going to be learning 7 different words and phrases that you can use instead of saying, I am busy. So, what do you say? We dive straight into the show and look at the very first phrase. 7 words, phrases you can use instead of busy. And the very first one we're going to be learning is I am buried in work. I am buried in work. And you can just think of yourself, think of what it means to be buried. It means that you're under the ground and there are heaps of things on top of you, or you're even above the ground and there's a heap of things on top of you. So when you say I am buried in work, it means that you're down there and work is all over you and you can't even find a space to breathe. So you use this expression when you have so much work to do and you have so little time. I am buried in work. And so maybe someone says, oh, would you like to go out for lunch? You say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm buried in work. So when you're buried in work, you definitely do not have any time to spare. That is another way of saying I am busy. So instead of saying, oh, I'm busy, I can't come out for lunch, you could just go, I'm buried in work. So no lunch time for me today. So that's an expression you can use, I am buried in work. We're going to move to the very next one. And the next one, an interesting expression as well. It says, I am up to my ears in work. And you can just think of someone being buried in the ground up to his ears, and then there's all that work. What do you have left? Just your eyes? All the rest of your body is in work. And so you also use this expression when you have so much work to do. So, oh, why didn't you come out yesterday? Oh, I was buried up to my ears in work. So instead of saying, oh, I was busy, that's why I didn't show up, you could just go, I was buried up to my ears in work, and that was why I couldn't make it. And so when you use that expression, you're simply using it to say you are busy. I am up to my ears in work. I am up to my ears in work. Or if it's in the past tense, the am becomes was. And so you go, I was up to my ears in work. Fancy expression, if I must say, very fancy. So you could use it instead of saying, I am busy. We move on to the very next expression. And this time, it has something to do with the word plate. Let's take a look. I've got a lot on my plate. That's the expression. I've got a lot on my plate. And you use that expression, of course, when you have so much to do. I've got a lot on my plate. So you can just imagine yourself at a buffet or something, and you are picking food all over the place and your plate is heaped full. You know it's going to take you some time to finish all that food, right? So you can now apply it to when you have so much to do. So I've got a lot on my plate. A friend of yours might go, it's been a while, I've not seen you for a long time. And you say, oh yes, I've got a lot on my plate of late. So instead of saying, oh yeah, I've been busy of late, you could just add some style to it and go, I've got a lot on my plate of late. So that means that you've been busy, and nice expression, if I must say. And we move on to the next expression, expression number 4. We've taken 3 already, and if you're just joining us, I'll just run down the first 3 we've taken. I am buried in work. I am up to my ears in work. I've got a lot on my plate. And now we're moving to expression number 4. And expression number 4 goes, I'm tied up. As simple as that. I'm tied up. So you can imagine someone being tied up. It's going to take him some time to loosen himself and then stand up and all of that. So if a person says, I'm tied up, it simply means he's busy. Would you like to go see a movie this weekend? Oh no, I'm tied up. So this expression is a way of saying you are busy, especially if someone asks you for some help or to do something with them at a specific time, and you know that at that time you're going to be busy. You could just say, oh, Could we move the meeting to like 12? Because I'll be tied up between 9 and 10. So I'm tied up. That's another expression that you could use instead of saying I am busy. Right, we move on to expression number 5. And expression number 5 says, I'm behind on my work. I'm behind on my work. So that's another way of saying I'm busy, I'm behind on my work. So imagine a long queue. A lot of us are used to queues, especially with ATM queues and all of that. And you're right behind. It's going to take you a lot of time to work your way to the front or to walk all the way to the front. And so when you say, I'm behind on my work, it's simply saying you're busy and you have a lot to do and it will take you some time to finish up. And so you can't do exactly what this person is asking you to do at this particular time. So whatever a person is asking you to do, you can, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. I'm behind on my work. And of course, everybody knows that work comes before play. So they'll just let you be, you know. And so we move on to expression number 6. And this particular expression, people who watch wrestling would understand it. Expression number 6 says, I am slammed. So you can think of a person being slammed to the ground and the wind blown out of him, and so he's really busy. He can't get up and go the way he wants to. So why can't you do this? Oh, I'm slammed. So that's a way of saying I am busy. So another good way of saying I'm busy, instead of saying I am busy, you can just say I am slammed. So we've taken 6 different expressions that you can use instead of saying I'm busy, and we're going to take expression number 7. And what's expression number 7? Expression number 7 is I'm swamped. I'm swamped. Take a look, that word there, do not go I'm swamped. I know a lot of people say swamped. It's not swamped, it's swamped. So take note, the letter A there gives it an O sound. I'm swamped. So that's another way of saying I am busy. Instead of saying I'm busy, you can say I'm swamped. So those are the 7 expressions, 7 very interesting, fantastic ways of saying I am busy. Adding some fun, vibe, variety to your English usage. So I'm going to run through the 7 expressions again. Number 1, I am buried in work. Number 2, I am up to my ears in work. Number 3, I've got a lot on my plate. Number 4, I'm tied up. Number 5, I'm behind on my work. Number 6, I'm slammed. And number 7, I'm swamped. 7 different ways of saying I'm busy. Instead of saying I'm busy, you can use any of these phrases or expressions to say the same thing and add some style to your speech. Do not forget, if you want to improve your English speaking skills, the Institute of Certified Communicators offers a 12-week Speak with Confidence course, which is completely online. If you want to get details of how you can be part of this course, all you have to do is send a text message to number 0805-584-9525, and that's a WhatsApp message, or 0806-128-2222. And so, we will be moving on to the next segment of the show, but before we do that, we will be again looking at our question of the day. So if you're just joining us, you have an opportunity to participate in the show by answering our question of the day. As I said at the beginning of the show, our question of the day has to do with the subject we're discussing today, which is word usage. So question of the week, which of these phrases means I am busy? Is it I'm snowed under? Is it I am pooped? Or is it I'm drained? I'm pooped or I'm drained? Which do you think it is? Well, send your answer to the number 0805 584 9525. Again, the number to text is 0805 584 9525. Remember, that number is for text message only. And do not forget to include your name and where you're texting us from. Right, so we're going to take a short break now for Stories to Teach. And when we come back, we'll take Ask Anything English and more on Diction Avenue. Don't go away. Violet, the proud butterfly. Violet was a pretty butterfly who was also very proud. She would call other insects ugly and look down on them. One day, Miss Mellow, the canary, decided to teach her a lesson. Would you come and sit with me for a bit? There is something I would like to show you. Oh, sure, Violet eagerly said as she perched on a branch just beside Miss Canary. What is it? Miss Mellow pointed to a caterpillar on another branch nearby and asked, Do you see that? Violet looked where she pointed and saw a caterpillar. Yes, I do. It's ugly, isn't it? It doesn't have pretty wings as I do. Patience, it's a surprise for you. Violet sat impatiently, wondering why she had to watch something so ugly, when suddenly the caterpillar began to move. Slowly at first, then rapidly. It shed its outer layer and then, boom, out fluttered a beautiful butterfly. Oh my! How can something so ugly turn so beautiful? Doesn't that teach you something? Violet watched the pretty butterfly fly off, and she understood the lesson. Do you get the lesson too? The end. Yeah, interesting lesson there that Violet learned. If you give lots of things just a little bit of time, they just might blossom and become something beautiful. So you do not judge people by little beginnings. And as the saying goes, you do not judge a book by its cover. Sometimes all you have to do is read the book for yourself and you find out some fantastic things about it. So that's a lesson to take from our Stories to Teach today, and I hope that you take that lesson to heart. Well, as I said before the break, we will be taking Ask Anything English, and we are going to be looking at questions that were sent in by 3 different viewers. I always say on the show that you have an opportunity to ask us anything English throughout the week. You can start from now, send in your questions. As long as they're English language-based questions, we'll provide answers to them. And we have various platforms that you could use to send in your questions. You can send in your questions on Facebook. We are the Institute of Certified Communicators on Facebook. So if you send your question, drop it on our page. Just include your name and we'll get back to you on the show with an answer to your question. You could also send a question on Twitter. All you have to do is tweet at ICCOMNG, that's ICCOMNG, and you will get answers to your questions at ICCOMNG, or you could send a WhatsApp message to 0805 584 9525. Just ask your questions and we will provide answers to them right here on the show. And so we're going to be taking the questions that came in over the week. All the questions that we have today are pronunciation questions. And so we're going to start with the very first question, which comes in from Onwamezi Chidebere. That's such an interesting name. Onwamezi Chidebere from Lagos. And Onwamezi has the question, please pronounce the word. And the word there, if we take a look at the very next slide, we'll see the pronunciation of that word, looking at the transcription of the word. Ornamental. 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 That's how you pronounce that word. You see that the loud part of the word is on men. So, ornamental. 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 Not ornamental. Don't give every syllable of that word a full pronunciation. Some of the syllables are swallowed up. If you look at the transcription of the word there, you notice that the second syllable and the last syllable are almost completely eliminated because they're schwa, honor, and then you go men, ornamental, ornamental, ornamental. That's how you pronounce that word too. I hope that Chidebere Onwamezi from Lagos, you have an answer to your question. We move to the next question, and this question is from Tapio. I hope that's the correct pronunciation of your name. Tapio or Tapio, perhaps. She said, he or she, I don't know, says, pronounce the word, and the word to be pronounced is right there. Massacre. Again, if you look at the pronunciation of that word, you've noticed that the first syllable, that's the loud part of the word, so you go ma, that's the part you say out loud. But the second and third syllables are not said out loud. You see that from the transcription there, the second and last syllable are schwa. So, suka, massacre, massacre, and not massacre. So you do not, again, give full pronunciation to the second and third syllable. You only give a full pronunciation to the first syllable. Massacre, massacre, massacre. That's how you pronounce that word. And then the final question comes from Damilola, and she's also asking for the pronunciation of the word. She says, please pronounce the word. And interestingly, this is a Yoruba name, but I am sure she wasn't talking about the Yoruba name. She meant the English word. And so even though the Yoruba name is Akin, in English, the word is pronounced Akin. Akin. If you look at the transcription there, the first syllable does not have a full pronunciation. It's almost swallowed, not eliminated, but swallowed. So you just go You give it very, it's swallowed, not eliminated. And then the second part is said out loud. So you go, akin, akin, akin. So Damilola, that's the answer to your question. And thank you very much for sending in your questions. As I said earlier, you can always send in your questions and we'll try and provide answers to them on the show. And that's just about all the time we have on Diction Avenue today. But before we go, we will be answering our question of the day. Remember, we gave out a question at the beginning of the show. And the question was, which of these phrases means I'm busy? Which of the phrases mean I am busy? Well, if you said I'm drained, then I'm sorry, you were wrong. The answer is not I'm drained. If you said I am pooped, not pooped. If you say I am pooped, nope, that's wrong too. The correct answer is I am snowed under. And I have so many responses. I am going to be looking at, let's see how many persons' answers we can take on the show. Go all the way down. And the very first answer I got, okay, no name. The second person here is Precious Ukechukwu, who gave us a wrong answer. Thank you for answering, but your answer is wrong. Oguchukwu Favor from Owerri, Imo State, who gave us a correct answer. Well done. The answer is I'm snowed under. My name is Johnson MJ. The answer is oops. I don't know what you answered there. This is Elijah Oyelowo from Agege, Lagos, who says the answer is B, but no, the answer is C. This is Joshua Gift from Okeira, Ogba, Lagos, who says the answer is I am snowed under. Yes, that's the answer. I'm snowed under, not I am drained. I got that wrong the other time. My name is Salami Mercy. I'm from Ogijo. The answer is I am pooped. No, the answer is not I am pooped. The answer is I'm snowed under. And that's what Divine Namani says. So your answer is correct. This is also Henry from Enugu, who says the answer is I am snowed under. And you are absolutely correct. My name is Cyrus from Abuja. Okay, Cyrus, I'll get back to you. You said you're interested in improving your English. We will do something about that. This is I am Adakole Sil James from Abuja. The answer is I am snowed under, and you are correct. My name is Precious, texting from Enugu State. My answer is I am snowed under, and you are correct. Badebo Mary from Iyano Brown, Oshodi, I am pooped, and you are wrong. My name is Ibrahim from Ilorin. The answer is A, and you are correct. Let me take one more answer, and this is David Orimoloye from Abijo. The answer is I am snowed under, and you are absolutely correct. And that is how we come to the end of Diction Avenue today. You know what they always say, time flies when you're having a great time. Well, we did have a great time today. Do not forget to join us again next week for another edition of Diction Avenue. Until I come your way again next week, my name is Abigail Anaba. See you next week.
The word where English language is taught, the official language that everyone needs to learn. Set the right pronunciation and you use the right intonation. So express yourself. It's Diction Avenue. Diction Avenue.
Okay.